welcome you to the Global Initiatives in Refugee and Migrant Education, the conference organized by Refugee and Migrant Education Network, along with Manhattan College, who is hosting us all here in this beautiful building. I welcome you in the snowy New York. Last year I welcomed you in Rome, so the weather was slightly different. It became snowing here in the city, but I think this cozy room will let us have wonderful ideas about refugee and migrant education. Let me pass the floor now to Dr. Brandon O'Donnell, President of Manhattan College, and the LaSallian mission drives their focus on quality education for all and service to neighbors in need. And Manhattan College is currently placed as 9th university among college for value-added education. Dr. O'Donnell, I welcome you to our conference.
Thank you very much. You just noticed behind us these shades going up and down. They may do that during the course of the conference, so don't be alarmed. It's part of our very proud LEED certification in this building. These things have a mind of their own, and lots of parts of the building have a mind of their own too. But usually in a good way. But you don't have any apparatus sort of springing into life and scaring you as you go through the day. So good afternoon, and on behalf of the faculty, students, staff, and administration of Manhattan College, welcome. It's our great honor, really, to be partnering with Being the Blessing Foundation, the Center for Interreligious Understanding, and the Pontifical University of John Paul II in this important and timely work of the Refugee and Migrant Education Network. As His Holiness Pope Francis stressed during his audience with participants of this group last year, institutions of higher learning must take up the challenge of finding ways to address the needs of migrants and refugees. As communities of research and teaching that are dedicated to the betterment of humanity, we have an obligation to use our talents for the common good, and especially in service to the most vulnerable among us. At Manhattan College, our De La Salle Christian Brothers and Catholic Mission calls us to this work. Like many other Catholic colleges here in the Northeast United States, we were founded in the mid-19th century largely to serve migrants and refugees, the migrants and refugees of that era in New York City. Today, we continue that mission in a different context by serving a large number of first-generation college students and second-generation Americans, first and second-generation Americans. And 33% of our undergraduate student body are members of the first generation of their families to attend college. Our faculty, inspired by commitment to social justice, work constantly across disciplines to integrate concerns of human displacement and mobility into their courses, into student programming, and into public lectures. We're proud as well, as a college founded by the De La Salle Brothers, to be part of a global network of De La Salle Christian Brothers institutions through the International Association of LaSallian Universities. From Mexico City to Manila, our colleges are living the mission of the founder by serving the poor through education. In today's context, this demands special attention both to serve refugees and migrants directly and to educate our students about the root causes of migration. To take just a couple of examples of work in the LaSallian network, our sister college in Bethlehem University, for instance, serves a majority of students who are Palestinian refugees. More than a quarter of the students and faculty of Bethlehem University are designated officially as refugees. In Lebanon, the LaSallian Brothers work with the Marist Brothers in a project to serve Syrian youth who have been displaced by war. This project, the Fratelli Project, currently serves almost 1,000 displaced Syrian children. And that's just to take two examples of many that I can cite. Reading your program for the conference, it is truly inspiring to see the rich diversity of expertise that will be brought to bear in the coming days on an impressive array of topics. As you well know, the scope, complexity, and the urgency of these issues, of the issues that are involved in this initiative, require us to find new ways to work together in multiple partnerships and collaborative efforts to develop real and sustainable solutions to the issues that confront migrants. I hope that your time here at Manhattan will be a rich opportunity to develop those efforts on behalf of our sisters and brothers in need. Again, welcome to Manhattan College.
Thank you, President O'Donnell. And now I would like to introduce you to Dr. Anthony Cernera, who is a real gratitude in action. Anthony brings 34 years of experience in education to our cause, most notably as a former president of Sacred Heart University here in the United States and the president of International Federation of Catholic Universities, as well as the current president and CEO of Beauty with a Blessing organization. The idea of forming united forces against education inequality among refugees is actually his brainchild. So it is my real pleasure to introduce Dr. Anthony Cernera now to you and pass the floor to him.
Good afternoon. You're the heroic first. We have a little over 100 people registered for the conference. We thought we were going to be, all of us be together in one place. We now have several stranded in an airport in Chicago, some stuck on a train in Washington. Hopefully over the next few hours and into tomorrow, most of the group will gather. Later in this afternoon, we'll have about a half hour of time to talk about the Refugee and Migrant Education Network. So I will talk about that in a moment. So I'd like just to say a few things about the conference in general, and what our hopes are about this conference. This is a working session. We want us to collaborate together, to dream dreams about possible new approaches and new endeavors that we might undertake together to foster refugee education at primary, secondary, tertiary level. Any idea is a good idea, right? The only bad idea is one that you keep to yourself. Out of last year's conference, the concept of collaboration caught fire, and institutions have begun to work together collaboratively on ways of expanding opportunities for education for refugees and about refugees. So the next 2.5 days are about sharing best practices of what already is going on in your institutions, but also figuring out what are the next steps that we can take together to expand opportunities for refugees' education. So nobody is a passive participant in the next few days. We deliberately have built in time with a reception at the end of the afternoon today, 2 coffee breaks tomorrow and lunch, and a coffee break on Saturday as a time for you to get to know one another. So one rule, don't only talk to people you know. Right? Our hope is that you will leave here having made new connections, new relationships that can help you in the work that you're already doing or in work that you'd like to do. David Miliband's the current president of the International Rescue Committee, in a wonderful book, which is based on a TED Talk that he gave, said that this is the fundamental crisis of our time. And that the issue is not only about rescuing refugees, it's also about rescuing ourselves and our humanity. Because what is also at stake in this crisis of 65 million forcibly displaced people is who are we as human beings? And what kind of human world do we want? And how can we use our resources, our gifts and talents as educators to help to make the kind of world that we all deeply desire for our own children and grandchildren? So yes, it's about refugees and their dignity and worth as people and providing the best opportunities for education for them, but it's also about our claiming and in a number of cases reclaiming our humanity, our common humanity. So I look forward to the speeches, but I even more look forward to the interaction that will occur between and among us over the next couple of days.
Indeed, we do hope that it will be a wonderful time for exchanging ideas. And let me give you a couple of technical details that are probably important to all of you. There is an open net access. The net is called JasperNet, so you can openly access it without any password. So thank you, Manhattan College, for making it that convenient for us. There is also an important stand, a tripod at the hallway where you entered the conference and where you registered. The tripod has a little basket underneath. And in this basket, if you have any ideas that would be, that you think would be interesting for the network, for Refugee and Migrant Education Networks, ideas that you would like to share, please put them in the basket along with your business card so that we can keep in touch later and spread those ideas among our members. Obviously, this is also the place to meet new members of the network. We are delighted that we see many members, existing members of the R&D network here in New York, and we welcome the new members. And this conference will be a great time to introduce the idea to you, to share our experience, and to welcome new members.